Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Mr. Simplification, and in this video we'll be looking at how to simplify complex numbers. We'll be looking at some basic tricks and some basics that you need to know every time you're looking at complex numbers. Alright, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so just a quick recap. Remember, we did make mention that complex numbers are written in the form z is equal to a plus bi, where a is a real and bi is the fake part. But we won't say fake part, we'll say imaginary part. Alright, so now when it comes to complex numbers, we're talking about numbers that have a real part and an imaginary part. But the a part is the real part and the bi is an imaginary part. But now basically, I really want us to understand where the I comes from, where the imaginary part comes from. So where does this guy come from? Yeah, I wanted to say from my imagination, but that's not really enough. Anyway, this is just a point that you should know. So if you have the root of negative something, the root of negative something is always equal to the root of something I. Root of negative something is equal to negative, the root of negative something is equal to root of something I. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Alright, it's good that we're up to speed. Alright, so with this in mind, you can quickly look at some examples. So remember, the root of negative something is equal to root of something I. So let's look at some examples. Let's say I've been taught to simplify. Simplify. Say number 1 is saying root of negative 4. So this would be root of 4i. What's the root of 4? Yes, it's 2i. So this is your answer. Let's try another one. Say root of negative 9. Root of negative 9 will be, remember, the root of negative something is equal to something I. So this is going to be the root of 9 is 3i. Be mindful of this. Say we have say root of negative 25. So be a root of 25i, which will be 5i. Alright, so try this one. Negative root of 25. So basically this one won't have an I to its ending because the negative is not really within the root, it's outside the root. So it's going to be negative 5. Alright. But if it was in this manner, say negative root of negative 25, our answer would have been negative 5i. I hope it's clear. Okay. So sometimes it might be a bit tricky. Say we have this one as 6. Say we have root of negative 18. I know we say root of 18i according to our basics, but be mindful that the root of 18 can be broken down. The easiest way you can break it down is to look for numbers that can be multiplied. Let's just say factors of 18. Two numbers that you can multiply together to get 18, of which one of the numbers should have a perfect square. So what numbers can you multiply together to get 18, of which one of them is a perfect square? So we can look at 9 and 2. So we can say root 9 times root what? 2. Then you can put the I to it, because 9 times 2 will give you 18. So root of 9 times the root of 2 is equivalent to the root of 18. Remember, simplifying a complex number, if you have a root of a number that's not really perfect, you can always put it in sad form, of which you look for two numbers that which when multiplied together will give you the value within the root, but make sure that one of the numbers is a perfect square. So between 9 and 2, it's 9 that's a perfect square. The root of 9 is 3 root 2i, because the root of 2 is not really perfect. Alright, So this is read as 3 radical 2i. 3 radical 2i. Let's try another one. Say we have the root of negative 50. What two numbers can you multiply together to get 50, of which one of them is a perfect square? So remember, this is the same as negative 50i. So the two numbers is simply just 25. So root of 25 times root of what? 2i. And this would be 5 radical 2i. As simple as it is. Okay. Let's make them 10 examples so we can look at something else. Say root of negative 80. So what two numbers can you multiply together to get 80? Okay. This would be 80i. And those two numbers would be what? Wonderful. It's going to be the root of what? 16 times the root of what? 5i. And this would be, if the square here is 16, so it would basically be 4 radical 5i. Okay, let's look at 9. Say we have negative of negative 72. So this is the same as negative root of 72i. And what two numbers can you multiply together to get 72? Okay, so one should be a perfect square, so we can say 2 into 72 will be 36 times 2. Okay, it will give us. So you can say negative root of 36 times root of 2i. And 36 is a perfect square, so root 36, it will be negative 6 radical 2i. Basically as simple as this is. Alright, so let's look at the last example. You can give it a try. Say you have negative of root, let's say 4. What will this be? Alright, so remember this will first be negative root 4i. Then you look for those two numbers. Do you really have to look for those two numbers? No, you don't really have to, because root 4 is actually a perfect square. So this would be negative 2i. Alright, thanks for watching. This is basically the easiest part of complex numbers. When you get a hang of it, you understand clearly how to go about simplifying these things. Alright, my name is Mr. Hussein Mosapi. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can contact me on the number that is located on your top left corner, or you can use the number in my description. Remember to strategize before you become a statistic, and let's try and push for that A+.